This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
I'm pleading on a daily basis that this is not a game.
State leaders say COVID-19 is still weeks away from peaking in the Hoosier state.
You may feel like you're Superman, but I guarantee you, you're not.
We're live with how hospitals are preparing for a surge in cases.
A local company switching gears as the virus outbreak puts the brakes on their main revenue stream.
Wanted to figure out a way, how do we provide jobs for employees, right? How do we continue that? And how do we service the community?
This morning, their efforts to protect Hoosiers battling COVID-19 on the front lines.
And the COVID-19 outbreak has thousands of people flooding stores every day. Working for you, we're looking at how the pandemic is changing the way you return items so you don't waste your money.
Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday, March the 31st, as we are socially distant. I'm Rafael Sanchez, live from our Johnson County studio. Good morning to my favorite people every morning.
Well, good morning, Rafael. We miss having you here in the studio, but we're glad we're all staying safe and separated today. And this is Tuesday on Good Morning Indiana.
Are we sure he wasn't just talking to his live studio audience of his family just then? Are we sure
They're probably still sleeping.
Well, we want to welcome you in here, and meteorologist Todd Clausen is taking a look at what we can expect for our Tuesday. Things thankfully warming up as our week continues, but not quite today, though.
Yeah, you know, today is one of those chilly days here at the end of March that we're just going to have to kind of power through and get through. Not only is it chilly, but there's more clouds than sunshine, unfortunately, as well. So mostly cloudy skies. It's not as windy today, though, as it has been. So that's one positive thing, at least, to take from the forecast. We'll have a little bit of sunshine, I think, this morning in spots, especially to the north. But the further south you go, the clouds are thicker. The steady rainfall stays just to our south, so we avoid that. But there could be a stray shower that will build in later on this afternoon. It would be very light and very, very hit or miss. Otherwise, as we get you out the door, if you do have to walk out the door this morning, temperatures will be in the upper 30s to start, mid-40s later on this afternoon with mostly cloudy skies. We'll talk about the warm-up that Meredith mentioned coming up in just a few minutes. But right now, it's 6:02. Let's get you updated on the roadways with Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a live look at traffic. This is in the downtown area, I-65 and I-70 at the south split. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed in all directions. Just a heads up to drivers down in Johnson County this morning, southbound I-65 near State Road 44. Getting word right now of a vehicle fire there blocking lanes of traffic. We'll continue to check into that and keep you updated, but keep that in mind. You may want to take US 31 as a detour as you're heading south.
Now to the latest on the toll the coronavirus outbreak is taking on Hoosiers. 35 COVID-19 related deaths are now reported in Indiana. There are more than 1,700 cases. More than 11,000 people have been tested for the virus. The projected peak of novel coronavirus in Indiana is still weeks away. Governor Eric Holcomb and other state leaders have a plan for how hospitals will handle that surge. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with those details. Alyssa.
Good morning, and that projected peak is expected sometime between mid-April and into mid-May, which is why the governor and health officials are preparing for that surge right now. The governor signing an executive order that will allow for additional resources, facility space, and medical personnel across the state of Indiana. The state has increased their number of critical care beds from around 1,500 to 2,000, and the goal is to double that number if needed. They'll do that by converting every recovery, operating, and outpatient room to a place to care for coronavirus patients. The order also allows retired medical professionals, certain medical students, and recent graduates to practice medicine and treat coronavirus patients.
We have received over 5,300 clinicians who have volunteered, stepped up, and stepped forward to provide what we expect will be much needed relief.
Equipment is also a concern. The state has nearly 1,200 ventilators. That may be necessary for critical patients. They have another 750 that can be brought in if they are needed. Now, health leaders also say that they are adjusting the way they are responding to those patients within those hospitals. They're turning into more of a team approach so that one of the critical care providers that has 5 to 10 years experience is overseeing some of those medical providers that are coming in from other specialties. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time now, 6:05. The Indianapolis Fire Department says 9 of its firefighters have tested positive for COVID-19 and are under quarantine right now. IFD says the firefighters did not all work out of the same fire station, and they make up a small fraction of the department's 1,200 firefighters. Other members of IFD who may have been in contact with those firefighters are taking advantage of free coronavirus testing offered by Eli Lilly for first responders. IFD says the infected firefighters have followed all protocols when it comes to testing and notifying that department. The COVID-19 pandemic has many people thinking about making sure that their families are taken care of in case they die, so they're drawing up wills. It may seem a little morbid, but attorneys say it's not a bad idea to start preparing for the future, coronavirus or not. Rebecca Geyer is an estate planning and elder law attorney with a practice in Carmel. Her office is being flooded with inquiries in light of the outbreak. Many just want to make sure that their wills and power of attorney documents are in order.
Regardless of whether there's a pandemic, we never know when something might happen. You know, you could be hit by a car coming home from work or unfortunately develop an illness when you least expect it. And you need to make sure that people have the ability to act for you, both in the event of an incapacity or if you were to pass away.
You can plan a will while social distancing. Just gather your documents and research from home, and most attorneys can finalize the documents via email or phone. You can even get something notarized remotely. It's also a good idea to log into your retirement accounts and life insurance policies and make sure that your beneficiaries are up to date. Raphael?
Lauren, thank you. As we continue live from our Johnson County studio, the racing season, as you know, is on delay. And one major manufacturer of racing items like helmets and racing suits wants to keep its people on the job. At the same time, they're switching production to make items to keep you safe and healthy. Once called the Franklin Flyer, former stock car racer Steve Barnett is now Franklin's mayor. He turned to the racing world to get face masks for police officers and firefighters.
People need to take this serious. You know, don't want people to panic, but we want people to be careful.
Under normal circumstances, Indy-based Impact Racing would be at the peak of making race-related gear, like suits of all kinds. But it's turned its production lines to make 100% cotton washable masks.
We wanted to figure out a way, how do we provide jobs for employees, right? How do we continue that? And how do we service the community?
The company says these are not FDA approved or the N95s used by health professionals. But the masks can be used by the general public to block the exchange of droplets from sneezes or coughs to reduce the spread of an illness.
There's a side benefit to the people, the general public, wearing them, and one of the reasons that they're worn, you see people wearing them in other parts of the world frequently, is to actually train yourself not to touch your face. Of course, that is considered one of the largest sources of transmission is from your hands to your face.
Impact began making the masks on March 20th, with races being canceled or postponed, like the Indy 500 moving from May until August.
Being an Indiana-based company, it was really important for us to be a part of that community in a time of crisis.
The city of Franklin has bought 200 of the masks. 2 separate assisted living facilities in the city have bought a combined total of 1,400 masks, and each mask costs about $5. Now, more details on this developing story. Impact Racing is also working on making face shields and gowns in the near future. We'll keep you up to date on that production. My complete FaceTime conversation with Impact Racing's Ben O'Connor is our digital extra this morning. You can find it later this morning on our website, theindychannel.com.
Raphael, thank you. A nonprofit helping those living with HIV for decades faces a new challenge during this pandemic. Those who are HIV positive being exposed to coronavirus could end up being a deadly situation. The Damien Center had to act quickly last week after a man tested positive for COVID-19 at the downtown Wheeler Mission. They moved 31 people living with HIV from shelters to hotels. With shelters packed, social distancing is almost out of the question. Capacity issues at different shelters and the homeless problem are things the Damien Center says should have been addressed well before a pandemic.
Until we as a community see people as humans and recognize that this is something that's affecting us and touching us every day, even when we can't see it, we aren't going to end homelessness.
Last week, the Indiana Family and Social Services Administration announced it is in the process of setting up a medical facility to treat people experiencing homelessness who test positive for COVID-19. The location has not yet been revealed. Free emergency department beds will also be placed across the city for additional patients needing care.
It is 6:10. Wayne Township schools making some changes to slow the spread of the coronavirus, while they're also making sure that their students and their families have enough to eat. The district has been providing thousands of meals per week with distribution sites at 3 different schools. The process now has parents drive up, open their trunk. They show by using their fingers how many children they have without rolling down their windows. Employees get the food together and put it in the trunk.
One of our missions is to make sure that we continue to provide service to our children. We want to make sure we do so in a way that also protects our employees from this pandemic.
Superintendent Dr. Jeffrey Butts says that he knew he had to make some changes to food distribution when the U.S. Surgeon General listed Indianapolis as a potential emerging hotspot for new COVID-19 cases. Wayne Township will reevaluate this new distribution system at the end of the week and determine if any additional changes are needed. And a reminder, if you're having trouble putting food on the table, you are not alone, and help is available. Many Central Indiana school districts, Indy parks, churches, businesses, and many other agencies and organizations are offering free meals right now. Many food pantries are also still providing services. You can find dates, times, and locations all on our website, theindychannel.com. Raphael.
That's still to come on Good Morning Indiana. More and more Hoosiers looking for work as COVID-19 impacts the labor market. Coming up at 6:14, our Hiring Hoosiers will connect you with a company that has a help wanted sign posted just for you.
And Raphael, today is going to be the coolest day that I have in my Storm Team 6 forecast. The good news is after today, we're going to have a nice warming trend that'll be heading our way. Bundle up if you're going to be out and about this afternoon, as highs will only be in the 40s. And to make matters worse, not a whole lot in the way of sunshine today. We'll talk about today and beyond coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 6:12.
It's just our way of doing our part.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana at 6:15 on your Tuesday. Take a look here at traffic right now on I-65. This is in the area near Johnson County State Road 44, the exit to Franklin and Shelbyville. We do have a report of a vehicle fire there blocking all southbound lanes, and that is creating a backup. As soon as you can, possibly in the Greenwood area, get off the southbound interstate, head on over to US 31. Take that southbound past Franklin this morning as your detour. This is a spot we'll continue to keep our eyes on. Give yourself that extra time. As you can see, traffic is backed up. Raphael.
Lord, I'll have to go check that out as soon as I'm done here. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana from our Johnson County studio. RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers, our campaign to connect you to jobs and resources. And that's even more urgent now, as of course, with the unemployment rate on the rise because of COVID-19. Our Kelsey Anderson looks into a career that taps into an unlimited resource. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Right now, as a country, we are in uncharted territories, and many people are worried about running out of essential items, whether it be toilet paper, food, water, and even electricity. And that's why the co-founder of Power Home Solar says they have had more people reach out to them than ever before since this crisis started. They're looking to have solar energy installed in their homes.
I think consumers are really feeling concerned about what the future holds. And, you know, when it comes to energy and power, that's an uncertainty.
Because of that uncertainty, Power Home Solar is looking to hire.
We are actually hiring sales energy consultants, and we're also looking for installers as well.
Ben Brookhart is the co-founder and chief sales officer for Power Home Solar. He says to be a successful sales consultant, you need to have 3 things. 1, a positive attitude. 2, a good work ethic. And 3, the desire to change your life.
When you come into the solar energy field, you have a chance to change the world, change the environment, but also help people have that energy independence.
Brookhart tells me the sales position is full commission, but he says the clients are curated and the average commission is $2,000 per client. They also offer full benefits.
We provide a W-2 opportunity, so full-time is what we're looking for. We provide health insurance. We provide a company vehicle. We provide a gas card. We provide 401k.
For both the sales and the installer's position, he says no experience is required.
So as far as the installers, we're just looking for guys that, you know, are good with their hands and are good with tools, don't mind working outside. We help them with all of the certification.
Brookhart says Indiana produces more leads than any of the 9 states that they're currently operating in. And he says to work for his company, you don't have to be in Indianapolis. He says they're hiring across the entire state of Indiana. For more information on how you can get a job with Power Home Solar, head over to hiringhoosiers.com. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. We know Hoosiers are hungry for opportunities. Since our story ran on Friday about an Indy company called Bell Technologies, the company's received about 500 applications for their open positions. Bell Technologies specializes in serving clients in field services, and the company is looking for anyone laid off, especially in the service industry, to put their people skills to good use as customer service support. We have, again, all that information on hiringhoosiers.com. We know it's a busy time as folks are trying to get that paycheck. All right, Todd, as people are maybe sticking around the house today, are they going to be able to get outside and bundle up a little bit?
Yeah, you'll definitely be able to get outside. There's no doubt about that. It's just going to be a little on the cooler side, or probably cooler than you'd like for the end of March, beginning of April, especially after we've been teased with some of these warmer days. But today's the coolest day of the week, and I could really probably extend that out for you, the coolest day for the foreseeable future. So that's good news as well. Nice dry stretch of weather, giving us an opportunity to dry out after the heavy rainfall last weekend. And this weekend, there'll be some spotty showers building in, but nothing like what we saw. Sun will come up here in just about a half hour or so, 40 degrees. That's the current temperature. The winds have calmed, and that is good news as well, but they're still out of that northeasterly direction, and that's a cool wind direction, and that's the main culprit today for us not being able to warm these temperatures that you see right here in the 30s and 40s much at all throughout the afternoon hours. 39 in Greencastle, 43 in Bloomington, 36 in Muncie, and Richmond sitting at 34 degrees. Here's how your day breaks down from start to finish. The first thing you'll notice here probably at the top is the cloud cover. Not much of anything in the way of sunshine today. There's just a small chance of a few peaks of sunshine this morning in some northern locations. The second thing that probably jumps out to you is the temperatures, only into the mid-40s later on this afternoon, but the winds will remain calm. That's that white line. So overall, it's just a cloudy and cool day for us, with those temperatures running about 14, 15 degrees below our average high this time of year, which should be very close to 60 degrees. Here's the break in the clouds this morning to the north. Everybody else is dealing with solid cloud cover. Thankfully, this big storm system is going to scoot by to our south and then make its way up the east coast. But as it makes that turn to the north, it will be just close enough to pinwheel a few spotty showers into our forecast later on this afternoon. These would all be very light. Most of you are not even going to see them. If you do, they're not going to last very long. As I always like to say, probably enough to wet the ground, but not enough to cause any puddles across the area. That's how light they are going to be. And a few of them will linger into the early morning hours on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we start to turn the page. We get the sunshine back. Temperatures tomorrow make the jump up into the low 50s. And then as we continue this forecast out with our temperature trend, our average high is 58 degrees. Tomorrow's still a little bit below that with that high of about 53. But starting on Thursday, we're above that yellow line, which is the average high. And then we keep the temperatures above normal all the way into Sunday and all the way into Monday of next week, as well as starting on Thursday, we will be in the 60s. As far as the rain goes, Saturday and Sunday are the 2 days that we have the potential outside of that spot shower chance today. But those showers on the weekend look to be very, very light and also very scattered. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We do have a traffic alert for drivers here. This is a live look down in Johnson County. We do have traffic in the southbound lanes at a standstill right now due to a vehicle fire reported near the Franklin exit 90 down there near State Road 44. You can see traffic there at a complete standstill. All lanes were blocked. It's looking like NDOT tweeting out that there may be one lane reopening at this time, so hopefully things will start to move a little bit in that area. But to avoid this major backup, you can see it stretches back, looks like a couple miles. If you're traveling southbound on 65, even in parts of Greenwood, you'll want to go ahead and get off the southbound interstate. Take US 31 instead if you are heading south. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Well, returning things when they don't fit right or they're expired is peace of mind, right? Well, new at 627, we're looking at why stores are changing their policies so you don't waste your money.
And when you think of Colton Underwood, you probably remember him romancing Cassie on The Bachelor. Coming up on GMA, Colton is live to talk about his recovery from COVID-19, and he'll reveal how Cassie helped nurse him through his toughest days. We'll be right back.
It's faster than braces.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:25 on our Tuesday. So Raphael, Meredith, we know a lot of things are canceled this spring. A lot of fun events and organizations had to call things off. So I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, parents are getting pretty creative to keep kids entertained at home with these activities canceled. They're improvising. So for some fathers out there, that means holding those canceled daddy-daughter dances right in their own homes. Yeah, virtual dances are being held online and outside, all while practicing social distancing, very important. And daughters are giving their dads high marks on the dance floor.
All right.
Look at them, even getting dressed
look
up.
great, looking sharp and gorgeous. Ohio's Health Director, Dr. Amy Acton, put out a call to kids across the state, wear your capes, and they did just that. Governor Mike DeWine compiled a video in honor of Dr. Acton showing little girls statewide donning capes and lab coats. Some with the message of, don't be scared, we'll get through this.
And a lot of places are offering curbside delivery, like restaurants and grocery stores, as you know. But Stonehouse Urban Winery in Hagerstown, Maryland, is putting a new spin on things. Check this out. A 75-pound brindle boxer named Soda Pup is helping to fulfill orders wearing an apron. The dog delivers bottles of wine to customers curbside. Why not? Owners say the dog is delivering more than just wine. He's also bringing people together who have to stay apart. What a really good idea. I like that a lot.
And I think I finally figured out what animal I want to be reincarnated as one day.
Yeah,
that's it.
the wine
Soda
dog.
Pup, the wine dog.
I tell you what, I just have a steady bowl of treats. He'd be coming to my house all the time.
Yeah.
with the delivery.
I love that.
Yeah. All right, if you're going to take the dog out for a walk here this morning, or just going out for a walk yourself, you're going to have to bundle up a little bit. It's a little on the chilly side with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Sunrise officially right on the nose there at 7:30 here this morning. But look at that, only 42 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. And as I advance here, unfortunately, as we go into the afternoon hours, there's not much warming to be had throughout the day today. And that's due to the lack of the sunshine and that cool breeze out of the northeast. About 43 your high today in Peru, 46 in Indianapolis. Temperatures from Bloomington to Columbus should climb into the upper 40s. But with the lack of sunshine, these temperatures will actually feel even a little bit cooler. The good news, Lauren, it's just a one-day deal. Once we get past today, we're into the 50s. And eventually, by the end of the week, we're talking temperatures back up into the mid-60s.
All right, looking forward to it. Todd, this story very timely. I was just asking Meredith about this morning. When you go to the store and you buy milk and it's expired, you return it, right? Well, this morning, John Matarese explains why some stores are now changing those return policies so you don't waste your money.
If you buy some food at the grocery store and it's spoiled, most of us bring it back for a refund. Buy a blouse at Target and it doesn't fit, well, we bring it back. But in this new coronavirus economy, many stores are saying no returns. Target has just announced it's suspending all returns for the next 3 weeks at all its stores nationwide. It will then extend the return window for all items by 3 weeks. Like many stores, Target worries about items contaminated with coronavirus coming back into the store and sickening employees. Meantime, many other stores, including Kroger, Whole Foods, Publix, Costco, and most dollar stores are also restricting returns right now, though you may be able to get your money back if your food was spoiled and you call them. If you have an expensive item that needs to go back, ask the store if they'll make an exception for you. Otherwise, you'll have to wait a month or two. Don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. The Indianapolis Fire Department says 9 of its firefighters have tested positive for COVID-19 and are under quarantine. IFD says the firefighters did not all work out of the same fire station and made up a small percentage of the department's 1,200 firefighters.
The ACLU of Indiana is calling on the state to release certain nonviolent prisoners because of the coronavirus pandemic. The group says state law allows for the release to make environments safer for inmates during the coronavirus crisis. The ACLU's petition recommends the state Supreme Court issue emergency steps to identify those who could qualify for home detention.
Elanco is working to help feed thousands of families with Indianapolis public schools during the COVID-19 crisis. The Greenfield Animal Health Company's foundation is organizing a coalition to raise $1.6 million for this cause. That money will help meet the food needs for about 2,500 IPS families over the next 8 weeks.
6:30 on your Tuesday morning. We want to thank you so very much for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana.
And we are practicing our social distancing. As you can see, we have all of us spread out here in the studio. And then Raphael, good morning to you down in Johnson County.
In the box, right? Hey, here I am. Good morning to you. Let's check our forecast right now. Todd, what's it going to feel like in my living room later this morning?
It's going to be much better than outside. I can guarantee that. Probably, I would say for you, it's probably going to be at 25 degrees warmer compared to our temperatures later on this afternoon. And today is going to be a cool day for everybody, no matter where you are across central Indiana. And that's due to the cloud cover that we will have and also a little bit of a cool breeze. The breeze not as gusty as it has been. That's the good news, but enough to keep us from warming much here throughout the day. Here's your breakdown hour by hour from 9 a.m. through noon. You notice by the noontime, we're only looking at a temperature right around 42 degrees. The clouds already in place this morning with the exception of some clearer skies to the north, and that's where you'll have the potential for a little bit of sunshine throughout the course of the morning hours, but eventually the clouds, they'll win out for just about everybody. The bottom of your screen, you notice some rain showers. It's a pretty big storm, but it bypasses us just to the south. So that's the good news for us. Just a small chance of a few isolated showers flaring up later on this afternoon. If you did see them, they're going to be very, very isolated. Here's the biggest weather issue we have for the day today. The temperature is 43 in Kokomo, 48 in Bloomington, 44 the high temperature in Rushville. Tomorrow, though, we start the warming trend. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Want to update you guys on that situation we've been monitoring down on I-65 southbound lanes near State Road 44 in Franklin. You can see traffic here is back moving. There was a vehicle fire closing down the southbound interstate. Lanes have reopened, and you can see traffic is back moving again.
I'm pleading on a daily basis that this is not a game. This is serious.
Governor Holcomb issues a new executive order in preparation for a surge in the state's COVID-19 cases. It comes as more deaths and hundreds more cases are reported in the Hoosier state. 35 COVID-19 related deaths are now reported in Indiana. There are more than 1,700 cases, 804 of those in Marion County. More than 11,000 people have been tested for the virus. The projected peak of the coronavirus is expected between mid-April and mid-May here in Indiana. That's according to the governor and the state's health commissioner, who are working to prepare for the surge of patients. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with details on these plans.
Good morning, Meredith. And, you know, the governor's executive order is going to allow for the allocation of resources as well as space. And it's also calling to action medical personnel across the state to help as this virus progresses here in Indiana. Now, we have not seen the peak of the virus yet, but we know there's already a major impact on area hospitals. IU Health Methodist Hospital in downtown Indianapolis moving all of its NICU babies to make room for adult COVID-19 patients. The governor's executive order allows retired medical professionals, certain medical students, and recent graduates to treat coronavirus patients. It will also allow for additional space across the state. The state has increased their number of critical care beds to 2,000. They can double that number if needed by converting other rooms in hospitals. The order also gives the directive to reopen certain facilities and convert the use of others.
Our state health commissioner, Dr. Box, will direct that recently closed facilities, such as a hospital in Michigan City, a hospital in St. Joseph County, be opened. And the state will use new rehabilitation facilities in places such as Clark County and St. Joe County to serve as step-down beds for non-critically ill patients.
And state health officials say 40% of critical care beds are open, which means potentially more than half are already taken. Now, moving forward, hospitals are divided into regions across the state. Those regions are working together with the 5 major health providers in our state to work together as one hospital. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. People are concerned about their health and also their jobs. The city of Indianapolis has announced that it's making progress in its goal to help small businesses, especially those in the food and beverage industry, stay afloat in light of COVID-19. Mayor Joe Hogshead and the City Chamber of Commerce announced nearly $3 million has been donated toward their $10 million goal for a small business support loan fund. Many local businesses, including restaurants, have either completely shut down or have gone to delivery and carry-out only services. Through the fund, they will be able to apply for loans between $1,000 and $25,000. The Capital Improvement Board, Anthem, and the Indianapolis Local Public Improvement Board Bond Bank all donated money to this cause.
Well, as healthcare facilities and emergency responders search for more personal protective equipment to keep workers on the front lines safe during this pandemic, a local business is doing its part to help meet that demand. Fleece Performance Engineering is a family-owned company out in Pittsburgh known for manufacturing automotive aftermarket parts for diesel cars and trucks. The business started as just a hobby between 2 brothers in a pole barn out in a cornfield, and today their products are distributed nationwide. So when they saw states shutting down due to the COVID-19 outbreak, they knew some parts of their business would be considered essential to the automotive industry, but they also have a large engineering and warehouse staff and a 75,000 square foot space at their disposal. So the Indiana company that employs about 50 workers got to work to help create face shields for healthcare workers. President and co-owner Braden Fleece says that they grabbed material, threw it on their laser cutter, and designed a face shield that was then tested at Hendricks Regional. After some great feedback, they sent 600 more to the hospital, and now they're sending PPE across the United States.
Yeah, I mean, the desire to do something, I mean, that's kind of natural instinct, want to be able to help and utilize our employees and our resources. My wife's a nurse, my sister, or our sister is a nurse. And we're agile as a small business, agile enough to make quick decisions, and we repurposed an area of the floor space to do this, and within 48 hours we designed, tested, iterated, filed for a patent, and shipped 600 units.
By the end of last week, Fleece was manufacturing 150 to 200 face shields per hour. They expect to soon make up to 10,000 on one shift using one tool. They are looking to bring on another tool, making hundreds of thousands of these face shields available by next week. So if you or your workplace is in need of face shields like this one, you can contact Fleece Performance directly by visiting their website. We have that link plus an email that's set up just for distribution of these face shields. You can find that all at the IndyChannel.com. Just click on this story.
The state of Illinois is not happy with the federal government right now. The governor of Illinois says Washington sent the wrong type of mask for the state's healthcare workers. Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state ordered 300,000 of the N95 masks that doctors say are necessary to protect medical workers from the coronavirus. He says he was personally told by the White House they would be shipped. However, Pritzker says the federal government shipped ordinary surgical masks instead. The CDC says surgical masks do not offer 100% protection against COVID-19.
Well, what do you do when people refuse to engage in social distancing needed to help slow the spread of COVID-19? Coming up, how some cities are now sending in the law when people gather in large groups. It's 6:38. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Visit us at kaplingersfreshcatch.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. More airlines are cutting flights in our country. Delta and American both announced they would be reducing flights in May. American will cut capacity by 80 to 90%. The airline normally operates 6,800 flights daily. Delta has not given out any specific numbers, but says it will reduce flights to Europe, Asia, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean. Both airlines say they will waive change fees for tickets that were purchased before April the 15th. The announcements all follow similar moves made by Southwest and United Airlines. It's a problem that governments all across the country are facing, whether in cities, towns or even in large metropolitan areas. People not following social distancing rules. In fact, some people even avoiding stay-at-home orders. ABC's Andrea Fujiji reports on how some cities and counties are asking police to enforce social distancing rules.
Despite a safer at-home order, this live stream video of a Tampa, Florida church service has ignited outrage, showing a crowded sanctuary. The church saying they should be considered an essential service.
People have gone totally crazy. As the president said, he wants to get everybody back worshiping God come Easter Sunday. That needs to happen.
President Trump has now changed that timeline, and that pastor now arrested for failing to follow the stay-at-home order in his county.
His reckless disregard for human life put hundreds of people in his congregation at risk, and thousands of residents who may interact with them this week in danger.
And in Louisiana, despite a ban on large gatherings and a warning from the governor about their coronavirus cases quickly rising, hundreds of parishioners came to a church outside Baton Rouge, angering neighbors.
Y'all need to shut the church down!
Also, this street parade was held Saturday in New Orleans. The mayor telling CNN overnight it won't happen again.
Our musician community, our cultural bearers have stepped up and said, hey, no more in the city of New Orleans. This is very serious here, and our people are dying.
And in Washington State, although this church choir practiced social distancing, 2 people are dead and dozens more sick. The group rehearsed right before the health department recommended no large gatherings. Now, choir members are remembering the victims.
We sat within 8 feet of her once a week for years, and now that chair's empty.
Andrea Fujii there. Some workers at Whole Foods are planning to stage a sick out today. Coming up next, how they say their company is not protecting workers from COVID-19.
A solar power company is looking to hire Hoosiers. Coming up, why the company says it's experiencing a boom in customers and who they're looking to hire to help meet that demand. Todd.
And we're open. It's Takeout Tuesday. We're open is a partnership between RTV6 and local businesses. Encourage you to support them and take out Tuesday. Order from them, take the food back to your house. We'll highlight Broad Ripple this morning in Flatwater Restaurant there. 11 to 6, you can pick up food. And what are they doing that's so special that made me pick them? Well, 50% of all gift card sales that you purchase there will go directly back to the employee. So if you're thinking about a Takeout Tuesday, you can use that hashtag. You see this flyer all over Indianapolis. Support the local businesses. We'll talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Live on CourtTV.com.
Some Whole Foods workers are planning a sick-out strike today to demand better conditions during the coronavirus crisis. They're asking for double pay for the hazards of working during the outbreak. They also want sick pay for workers who choose to self-quarantine or isolate instead of coming into work. And they're asking for the immediate shutdown of any store where a worker tests positive for the virus. A social media post promoting the walkout says, quote, COVID-19 is a very real threat to the safety of our workforce and our customers. We cannot wait for politicians, institutions, or our own management to step in to protect us.
Several retailers are planning to furlough employees as sales continue to slump because of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Macy's says that it will furlough more than half of its 125,000 workers beginning this week. The company says it plans to gradually rehire employees when the business returns to normal. Gap, which also owns Old Navy, Athleta, and Banana Republic, says that it will furlough employees in the U.S. and Canada. About 80,000 people will be affected by this. The company is also reducing corporate personnel and says the leadership team and board of directors will take pay reductions. Raphael.
Let's talk about hiring Hoosiers. It's RTV6's commitment to connect you to jobs and training programs. And that mission is critical these days, specifically with unemployment on the rise due to COVID-19. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with a career choice that taps into an unlimited resource. Good morning, Kelsey.
With so many unknowns right now, some people are worried that something could happen to the power grid, and they're reaching out to solar companies looking for energy independence. And now those solar companies are looking to hire you so they can keep up with demand. Ben Brookhart is the co-founder and chief sales officer for Power Home Solar. He says right now they are seeing more demand than ever before for solar energy. That means they need more employees to satisfy that demand. He tells me they receive more leads in Indiana than in any other of the 8 states they operate in.
We're hiring for the entire state of Indiana, not just Indy. That's where our office is located, but we are hiring for the entire state.
They are hiring sales consultants and installers. Brookhart says the company provides a 401k, a company car, a gas card, plus training. Brookhart says for both positions, no experience is required. So if you're interested in a job in the solar field, head over to hiringhoosiers.com. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. There are constantly new developments in the COVID-19 pandemic and the way it's impacting our lives. You can find everything you need to know anytime right on our website, theindychannel.com/coronavirus. Here at 6:49, got to get a check of our forecast as we start our Tuesday, Todd.
You know, it's not a terrible forecast, Lauren. It's not the best forecast for the end of March, beginning of April, in the sense that temperatures today are going to be a little on the cool side, but not terrible, as we're not expecting a whole lot in the way of rainfall coming our way, and the winds have calmed down as well, so that's something to be thankful for. The winds just now out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour. The issue by far today is not the rain chance later on this afternoon. It's these temperatures. Not so much this morning, but later on this afternoon. We're in the 30s and 40s right now. This is not completely abnormal for this time of year, but what will be our high temperatures later on today, as we will barely warm much at all. We'll go from the upper 30s where we are right now only to about 44 to 46 degrees for your high temperature, depending on where you live. This afternoon, we should normally be getting up to 58 degrees this time of year, so we're a full 14 to 15 degrees below normal for this time of year. About 42 is all we'll be able to do in Logansport. Marion, only 41 degrees for your high temperature. Same for Tipton with mostly cloudy skies. It is a little bit warmer in southern locations, but still below normal by 9 degrees. And Bedford at 49, 48 will be your high temperature in Bloomington. Then in and around the metro area, Indianapolis right around 46 degrees for the high today. Plainfield at 45. You'll definitely need the jacket if you're going to be taking that neighborhood walk later on this afternoon. It's dry this morning. No threat of any rainfall right now. In fact, you notice the clouds even breaking apart a little bit there in northern locations. That'll be your best bet for any sunshine in this forecast. Thankfully, we're missing out on all this rain down to our south, and it's pretty heavy rain in spots. But this storm system is going to make its way up through western Pennsylvania, then the northeast. On the backside of it, as it passes off to our east, it will try to throw a few spotty showers in our direction. These are going to be very, very light. They're going to be very, very hit or miss, and they're really not going to hamper your outdoor walks. You may want to have a jacket with a hood just to throw up the hood if you do encounter one of these showers. And just check the interactive radar on the Storm Shield app or the RTV6 app, and you can see exactly where these showers will be later on this evening. And then by tomorrow, we are working sunshine back into the forecast. Tomorrow's still a little bit below normal, but a step up from where we'll be today at 53 degrees. By Thursday, we're up to 63 degrees with plenty of sunshine. That puts us back above normal. Friday, 64, warm conditions and sunny skies. And then as we work our way into the weekends, it will be the first weekend of April. So as they say, April showers. These thankfully will be just that, Lauren. It will be very light and they'll be very scattered in nature.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Again, drivers down in Johnson County, things are back moving after a vehicle fire. Drivers over here on the west side, everything is moving along up to speed on your Interstate 465. A view here near Rockville Road where everything's traveling up to speed. Heads up, drivers in Avon, we do have a crash right now along US 36 at Country Club Road. No injuries to report. And also on the west side, monitoring a crash cleanup on Holt Road and Washington Street. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any other issues that may slow down your commute.
Baseball fans missed out on opening day this year, but one team, a Good Morning Indiana favorite, isn't letting the pandemic spoil all their fun. Next, the way you can still have your ball game and be safe at home. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. Well, of course, we don't have professional sports right now because of the COVID-19 pandemic. No going out to the ballpark with the Indy Indians or any of your other favorite teams. But one baseball team is not letting that stop them from having a little bit of fun. The Savannah Bananas of the Coastal Plain League decided to do opening day anyways with a stay-at-home twist. Take a look.
As you can see, the Savannah Bananas are beating the absolute dog out of the Macon Bacon on the year. The Bacon not looking too hot, and their uniforms don't even have logos on them. You start to wonder about the health of the organization. Mike Williams with a home run to left field. Oppo Taco on a Friday. It's not even Taco Tuesday. Have mercy on him, Mike. And he hits the Heisman at third base.
Pretty funny there. The Bananas running up the score on their arch rivals, the Macon Bacon. On the video game MLB The Show, not only that, all the fun and games and the dances you get between the innings and a minor league team. The home crowd there played all those as well. Love the mascot. The final score, by the way, the Savannah Bananas 16. Of course, the Macon Bacon, nothing. What a blowout. All right, Todd, what can we expect in the forecast today?
Lots of clouds and cool temperatures this afternoon as we only climb up into the mid-40s with just a small chance of a few spotty showers.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes with news, weather, and traffic updates.
All your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining us. Good Morning America is next right here on RTV6.